Finding routes into the industry can be quite difficult, so what we want to try and get out of today and going forward is help people to understand the entry routes and the progression routes that you can go into with local providers, and make sure that they're aware of the work that's coming up in the area and the longevity of the work that's here, to make sure that people are realising that construction is here to stay.
We have a number of local employers coming along to talk about their company, what type of roles are within their organisation, how the construction sector works in the supply chain, and the different entry points that you can get jobs within the sector, within their organisation.
We're here because we're a main contractor in the Humber region. We see continuous challenges with skills, and we see continuous challenges in generating interest in our industry.
So we're looking at the skills gaps that are faced in the construction sector and the pathways into employment for young people wanting to enter the sector, and that's opportunities at all levels, right from sort of your entry level roles, thinking about your labourers work, right through to civils and project managers.
I'm here today to help to influence the influencers, essentially.
Our role here today is to make people aware that we are willing and ready to help promote construction as an industry to people of all ages, and secondly to educate them on what that might look like and where actually do the jobs and the trades lie in our industry, how are we structured, and where those opportunities may be for those people looking to come into our industry.
Working with the influencers, it's about the attraction, it's about getting people into the industry. We know we've got massive skills gaps, skills shortages, and we have a problem.
What we needed to do was provide that real world life and knowledge of that it will rain, you will be working in the rain, it will be cold, it will be hot. And so therefore that knowledge prior to them going to the industry set them up really with real expectations of what life really is like. College courses traditionally have not provided that. They provided the curriculum but not the real world experience, and so the industry spoke to us and said, this is really what we're missing and this is what we want from your provision, is to allow people to gain that real world experience.
I mean, the whole construction industry in itself it's a huge beast, and to try and summarise everything that takes place in just the traditional biblical trades is a very small, and it's highlighting that to the students that actually you do your A-levels in geology and geography, go off to university and do all that, because we need you in construction. You need to come back, we need you to plan the next road, we need someone to do the next traffic flow analysis. We need someone to look at the soil analysis, the bearing capacity of buildings and the soils, and analyse all of that information.
We're finding that skills gaps exist everywhere. So this is a chance to develop higher level skills. People that we might lose to A-levels and university are actually being fed into the industry at an earlier stage.
The fact that people are starting to try and acknowledge the working together, the linking up, sharing different skill sets, sharing the skill sets is only going to strengthen the industry.
There's a real push obviously towards taking on more apprentices now. The Hobson and Porter work in the sort of construction industry as a contractor, so they're looking more for plasterers, joiners, bricklayers. As a public sector worker, we work on the technical side, so we have building surveyors, engineers and architects. So there's a real collaboration there, and we think we would love to be able to share the apprentices coming through and try and look at those guys that are willing to work in the office and show a sort of proficiency there.
A T-level is perfectly matched to somebody that would traditionally go and do A-levels and then progress to university. This is a way of actually getting a similar qualification to an A-level, but at the same time you're getting real work experience. When you then go to university to do something such as architecture, you've got a very good grounding in the industry that you're going to be developing.
We've got people here today, and including lots of girls, females, who are talking about how they got into the sector and why they wanted to come and work in the sector.
The first year of a T-level is predominantly going to be classroom based, and then in the second year they'll get the work placement along with practical development, so in a carpentry and joinery workshop or a plumbing workshop to understand the concepts of those trades.
36% of parents would stop their children from considering construction as a career. So it's how do we get to those people and help them understand and realise what is available out there.
Foundations is run as a programme that educates, inspires and helps develop people that are looking at or already in a construction career path. So the event that we hold at Bishop Burton is about bringing all those different organisations in our supply chain who have supported the cause into one room, and then hosting an event where people can walk in from primary, secondary, further and higher and adult retraining, whether they've got an interest in construction, whether they're already in construction, or whether they've got absolutely no idea what construction looks like. Hopefully we can change perception and influence them as they leave the doors of that building on the day.
What we're wanting to do is try and increase the numbers of people coming into the industry through apprenticeships. So one of the things that CITB do is we offer grants to employers. Now those grants, you can get up to £15,000 per apprentice for taking on an apprentice within your business. That's, any organisation who is a registered CITB employer. So we have, from a one-man band who then takes on an apprentice, become an employer, and they can access that grant. But we need to get the message across, because I think a lot of the barrier is a lot of those small businesses maybe can't afford to actually take somebody else on. Whereas if they knew about these grants and they realised that that would help them, then that's a good incentive.
So my role is to go around, help micro businesses, one, understand how to take on an apprentice, but also how to access that support for recruitment, grants, and just basically understand how to take on and support an apprentice through their journey.
So I went to see my careers advisor and I told her that I wanted to be a quantity surveyor and that I wanted to go do the BTEC extended diploma in construction. She then said to me, don't you want to just do nursing or healthcare assistant? And I was just like, no, I want to be in construction.
I was in year 10 while I was doing my work experience at Hobson & Porter, and at the time I wanted to be an architect, but while I saw the sites and how everything worked, I thought, hang on a minute, I want to be a bit more hands-on.
Well, obviously I started at bricklaying, so you start at the bottom, doing some labouring, fetching and carrying, and that is, that you've got to understand that to then progress into actually doing the skilled work. And that was the time when I was thinking, well, I'm not quite sure whether this is for me or not. But once I've stuck through that, it has really benefited me. When you work your way up.
So it was more of the graphic side of design rather than actually interior design. But I was lucky enough to actually work for a company who had a fit-out division. So I went over to their director and basically went, my skills are being wasted in your signage division. I am an interior designer, so you need to employ me within the fit-out division, which they did.
Joinery is quite an interesting subject, because ever since I was small, I remember climbing trees and knocking pieces of wood together with nails. Until now, I still got the little hammer that my granddad gave me.
I hate the pressure of putting everything into one exam. So with a BTEC, you're doing coursework assignment throughout your 2 years while you're there. You've also got practical experience, so you can be outside doing site level, site surveying, doing levels, doing measured surveys in buildings, and learning how to use AutoCAD and a variety of different things in your 2 years. So there's not just one career option when you go do a BTEC. There's a lot of career options in construction that you can choose.
I have now gone from interior fit out to actually physically building buildings, which is absolutely awesome. I'm one of those lucky people that really enjoys what I do, and now I'm involved with building amazing buildings throughout the country.
We're up to 10 employees now, and just for this last year we're just going to be just shy of £500,000 turnover.
The things that we do in the background that are influential and basically mean that the things on site happen are hugely important. Everything that is done from a design, creative, or obviously any role that's in the background of design and within these big construction companies is massively rewarding.
You can earn up to £2,000 a week for being a joiner at one of the local companies. So why wouldn't you want to be in construction?
Now running my own business, I know what I'm talking about all the time. You know, I have a lot of respect from the lads because they know that I've been there, I've done that, I know what I'm talking about.
It's one of those things that you can get involved with, really make a difference, and obviously physically see something being made and produced at the end.
To make a difference, we can't just do it alone. We need to collaborate and bring everybody together. A bit like the Foundations Live project, that brings everybody together from all walks of life. The more we can develop that over the years, then the better it's going to be. But we need people to work with us and head in the same direction